Hello, thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. I'm Lisa, this is most definitely live, and I was just putting my apron on over my Earth Day yoga peacock pants. What does peacock pants have to do with Earth Day? I'm not really sure, except for peacocks are an animal on this earth, and so we should celebrate them. Yes, happy Earth Day. It is indeed Earth Day, and today here on Veg with Lisa Live, we are going to celebrate by talking about how to reduce food waste in the kitchen. But before we get started, please say hi. Let me know that you're watching. Even if you're watching the recording, type in the comments so that I know you're here. Okay, reduce kitchen waste. Well, yeah, that's kind of boring, right? Not such a super sexy topic. But did you know that 1/5 of all of the world's food goes in the trash, gets thrown away? Yes. On average, we throw away more than 160 pounds of food each every year. Well, I say that there is definitely some improvement to be made with that statistic, and I'm going to show you how using some of my favorite vegetables. So why should we reduce food waste in the first place? Well, one, that's just silly, right? To throw away that much food when there's so much food insecurity and people all around the world go to bed hungry every day. So one, it just sounds like what we should do for humanity, and it is exactly what we should do for humanity. Two, we all know everything about reducing single-use plastics, such as plastic straws, plastic cups, but we don't think about what we're throwing away in our kitchen, right? And three, a lot of the really healthy parts of the vegetables that we throw away, I spoiled my punchline. A lot of the parts of the vegetables that we throw away are the healthy parts, the parts that we want to be eating for all kinds of reasons, which we'll talk about. But let's get started. And I want to thank my friend Andy Wolf for giving me this idea for this episode. So if you have any ideas that you would like to see addressed on Veg with Lisa Live, please be sure and let me know. Okay, let me turn you down here so we can get started. I'm going to use vegetables as a tool for reducing food waste because after all, this is Veg with Lisa Live, and I love vegetables, and we know we need to eat lots and lots of vegetables. Okay, let's get started. I've got so many things on my counter here that I want to show you. First, let's start with these beautiful radishes. Aren't these gorgeous? Yeah. So if you're just joining me, thanks. Let me know you're here. Type in the comments, say hi. Radishes are a spring veggie, so they're at the farmer's market. Now, hi, Rob. And I know Rob likes radishes. I bet a lot of us, we bring this bunch of radishes home from the market. We rip off these leaves. We eat this. And what do we do with these? We throw them in the trash. This is part of that 160 plus pounds of food that gets thrown away by each of us every year. Hello, Earth darlings. Yes, thank you, Rob. So what I'm suggesting is that don't throw these radish tops away. Eat them. You don't have to eat them raw like that, but I kind of like them. But what I do normally is I chop them off. You know what to do with this part. Save this part. Throw it in soup. I just made some miso broth earlier this morning, or earlier today. I sliced this up in really thin little slivers. I tossed it in. If you're cooking kale, you're cooking spinach, throw it in. If you're making soup, throw it in, right? Don't throw it away. Throw it in instead. Okay, what else have I got here? Who knows what these are? These are celery leaves. What do we tend to do? We tend to chop the celery stalk off. We know what to do with this. Ellie says saving the planet means the world to her. I get it. That's a good one, Ellie. That is a real good one. Saving the planet should mean the world to all of us. I bet it does. Celery. We know what to do with this. We don't know what to do with this. Don't throw this away. Throw it in. What do you throw this in? Well, first of all, Ellie, if you drink Bloody Marys, you could use this to stir your Bloody Mary. Second of all, these leaves have some of the most nutritious parts of the celery plant. Chop them up, throw them in your soup, right? Use them as a garnish. Eat them. So as we go on through all these lovey veggies that I've got up here, I'm going to show you a little tip to set yourself up for success to reduce kitchen waste. When you're cooking, keep a bowl here. This is for little bits and ends that you're not going to cook with, you're not going to eat, and you're going to save this to make veggie broth. Yeah. Then keep another little bowl. This is just usually something that I'm going to put in the recycling anyway. This is for the bits that don't look good enough to go in any of your food. For example, celery that's gotten, we don't want to put rotten celery in our veggie broth because then we'll have rotten veggie broth. So I keep a little container in the sink or on the counter while I'm prepping. Then this will go in my compost pile, which is another fantastic way to reduce kitchen waste. Keep a compost pile, throw all those bits in. Yeah, if you don't have a compost pile, no worries. Go out behind your bush, one of your bushes, or maybe one of your neighbor's bushes, and just dig a little bit in the dirt and throw it back there. But make sure it's away from the house because you don't want to attract rodents. Okay, so let's moving on. We talked about radishes. Don't throw the tops away. We talked about celery. Don't throw the leaves away. Don't throw them out, throw them in. Now, what about these beauties? Does anybody know what this is? It is rainbow chard. So this tip can be used for all kinds of green things like rainbow chard, Swiss chard, collard greens. I bet what a lot of us do is we get this home from the market, we chop these stems off, and then what do we do with these? We throw them away. Don't throw them away, throw them in. So let me show you what I like to do. I've got a skillet on the stove here with some onion slivers and some garlic browning. So if I'm going to saute these greens, or even if I'm just going to make some pasta sauce or something, I chop those stems up like that, and I don't throw, Ellie, I don't throw them away, I throw them in. Ellie says brunch without a Bloody Mary is just sad late breakfast. So put your celery in your Bloody Mary, Ellie, and then you've got a happy brunch. Okay. Then what I would do is I would just slice up the rest of these greens, including these stems, right? Don't throw them out, throw them in. I'm gonna leave that on the skillet and move on. My friend the beet, same thing. Look at these beautiful stems and these beautiful leaves. I bet a lot of us come home from the market, chop that off, and throw these away. Don't throw them out, throw them in. So I'm going to add these beet stems to my skillet. Yeah, just like you would. Celery, onion, garlic. You want to let the stems cook just a little bit longer by themselves before you toss the greens in. Yum, yum, yum. Adds a nice little bit of crunch. And again, a lot of the vitamins and the minerals and a lot of the fiber is in these stemmy, these twiggy parts and the skins, right? Why do we want fiber? Hi, Laura. Why do we want fiber? We want fiber because we need at least 25 to 40 grams of fiber every single day for a healthy gut, for a healthy immune system. As you've heard me say time and again, and I'm going to continue to repeat it, most Americans get more than enough protein. We're obsessed with protein in this country. We get enough. What we don't get enough is fiber, which is only found in the plant kingdom. Eat more stems, eat more twigs, eat more things that you might otherwise throw away, and you're on your way to getting your daily intake of fiber. Okay, what's next? I'm gonna let that saute over there. Oh yes, look at these beauties. Carrots. Okay, there are so many ways to reduce kitchen waste considering carrots. First of all, look at these tops. If you're lucky enough to buy carrots with the tops on, don't throw them out, throw them in. Well, why do you throw them in? Well, here's what you do first. You chop them like this. Then you've got your carrots. You can make a delicious pesto, carrot top pesto. Yep. Pistachios, just sort of like you would make regular pesto. You can juice these if you make vegetable juices. You can add these to smoothies if you make smoothies. You can add these to your bowl that you've got already to make your veggie broth, yeah? Or here's something I like to do. I like to make a bouquet with my carrot tops. What do you think about that? Yeah, beautiful. a carrot top bouquet. Okay, let's come back to our carrots. So we've got this carrot that grew in the earth. Yeah. Often, what do? We take our peeler and we peel our carrot. Well, first of all, you don't really need to do that, especially if it's organic. Just give it a good scrub. And if there's a little bit of soil still left on there, it's not going to kill you. In fact, it's probably going to improve your gut health. So a couple ideas. One, don't peel it, just scrub it. Two, if you really want to peel it, don't throw these out, throw them in. Yeah, you could put these carrot slivers in your pasta sauce, especially if you've got kids and you want to sneak some more veggies in on them. Yep, why not? You could throw these in your soup. You could throw these in your bowl that you've already got ready for your veggie broth. Fantastic ideas, ways to throw them in instead of throw them out. Yes, okay, good. Type in the comments so I know you're here, because I can't see those little bubbles that pop up because they're too small. And even with my glasses, Chuck, good, it's you. Okay, here's another favorite. Yep. What do we tend to do when we buy a stalk of broccoli? Here's what we tend to do. We tend to chop the stem off and then we throw it away. Don't do that. Let me show you a trick. Take your peeler, peel the tough skin away. You're probably going to want to toss that really, really thick woody part in your, I would put that in your compost bucket, not your veggie broth bucket, unless you're going to make broccoli soup. Strong flavored vegetables like broccoli, asparagus, artichokes, things like that, I don't like to put in my veggie broth because it really limits the use. Yeah, if you're gonna make a soup specifically with these veggies, add them in. If you're not, I would just put that in the compost pile. But now I've got this peeled. I'm definitely gonna put those peelings in the compost bucket. And then chop this. Chop these broccoli stems and use them just like you would these florets. Yeah? Again, don't throw them out, throw them in. All right, what else have I got here to show you? Same goes with potatoes. This is actually a white sweet potato. I happen to love them. We don't need to be scared of potatoes, by the way. We don't need to be scared of carbs. We just need to make sure that we eat a good variety of complex carbohydrates. Okay, same with this. A lot of times we peel these. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love these white sweet potatoes. A lot of times we peel these because we think that that looks ugly or blemishy or something. Okay, fine. First of all, again, you don't need to peel those potatoes, especially if they're organic. I always try to buy organic things if they've grown in the soil for obvious reasons. If they look dirty, scrub it, yeah? If you still think they've got like knobs and things you don't want to eat, peel them. Throw these in your veggie broth container, right? Otherwise, you don't need to peel it all. Okay, what else have I got here? I've showed you, this is one of my favorites. Okay, here's another tip to reduce food waste in the kitchen, and that's by proper storage. And here is how I store my asparagus when I bring it home from the supermarket. I put a little bit of water in a bowl or a glass, and then I stand it up like this, just like a beautiful asparagus forest, yeah? Because these things, if you think about it, vegetables, these stalks, they are meant to draw water up from the soil. So if we cut them, we've destroyed their ability to do so, which that's why these, sometimes these asparagus tips get like all dry like that. That's because we've destroyed their ability to drink. So it's kind of like putting a straw in a cup and then going, slurping it up. This is how I store my asparagus. There's also a couple fantastic ways to reduce food waste concerning asparagus. And first of all, aren't these beautiful? I didn't need to buy the purple ones, but I just wanted to show you. Aren't they gorgeous? The asparagus comes in 3 colors, purple, white, and green. And I love these purple babies. Let me just show you with these. So a trick that I like to do is to trim them. If you break them, they'll snap at the place where they're meant to. This part's, we probably don't want to just eat, and this part's tender. So we've got these tough woody ends. Same thing, we tend to throw them out. How can we throw these in? Similar to the broccoli. We can peel the tough bits of skin off of here. Oops, I almost peeled my thumb. Got to pay attention. And again, we probably want to cut off that really tough bottom part. Again, this is a really strong flavor asparagus. I would not throw this in my general veggie broth. I would throw it in veggie broth if I'm gonna make asparagus soup. So pick your pot accordingly. And then look, you can chop those little tough stalks, look at this, into little teeny asparagus nibs. Yum, one that you can eat. Two, you could throw these in your stir fry. You could throw these in a saute. If you eat eggs, these are great in an omelet. Yeah, they're fantastic in an omelet. Even with the chickpea omelet that we made on the Mighty Mighty Chickpeas a couple weeks ago. So, 2 ways to reduce food waste with asparagus. Okay, I think that's all for today. You got your compost waste bucket that you're going to throw in your compost pile or behind your neighbor's bush. And you've got your still good food waste container that you're not going to eat, but you're going to make veggie broth with. And then I'm going to continue sauteing my stems and my leaves. And I'm going to have that for lunch. So thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. If you have any questions about any of this, how to reduce food waste in your kitchen or just how to eat more veg, reach out. I'd love to chat. See you next week. Emily, see you next week.